Today we're going to be going over why I do not like the adjustable Lee auto disc, and that's coming up next here on Jesse Be Outdoors Reloading. Welcome back everybody, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below if you like videos like this. First off, I'd like to say this is kind of a VR to one of my viewers here. One of my videos, I was using the Lee auto disc here, and I said the one thing I don't like about it is you can't get exact measurements on it. They say, why don't you pick up the adjustable auto disc then, put it in there, and you can use it like you do your Lee auto drum. And I've had this actually for like 2 years now, maybe even 3 years now, and I was never really impressed with this. The reason why is I originally bought it because I wanted to do 2.7 grains of Titegroup in 380, and I couldn't get it down low enough with the auto disc when I only had this for my only powder drop. So I picked this up, and it would get down to the 2.7, but it wasn't consistent, and it would jump around all over the place. And then lately I did a how easy it is to load 50 rounds of 357 Magnum in a Lee Classic turret press. That video will probably come out after this video. Well, I loaded up the 50 rounds, and I end up tearing them all back apart after that video, because every 10 rounds I checked with this, and every 10 rounds I was getting a different reading, and none of them were like higher or low enough to be concerned about, but I just didn't like how inconsistent it was. So after somebody said that, and then I had a couple other people that were sooner ask me about it lately, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do a video on this. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring the camera in here. I'm going to show you 3 different powders we're going to use on this, and we're going to do 2 camera angles. I'm going to have one showing you guys me using it, and then I'm going to have one on the scale down in the corner so you guys can see the powder and then also know what the powder charge is and see how inconsistent it is. What we'll do is probably 10 charges on all 3 of these different powders I have over here. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, the first powder we're going to do is a very fine powder. We're going to do Hodgdon H110, and you can see right there, that'll let you guys know how fine of the powder we're working with. I'm going to do this with all 3 powders so you guys can see what we're working with. So let's go ahead and test this one out. Now the next powder we're going to use is Hodgdon HP38. To me, this is like a middle of a road, a little bit more of a flaky powder, not as fine as what the H110 is, just so you guys can see that there. So this is going to be what I'm going to call my middle grade one. So let's move on to the last one we're going to use. And now for the last one, we're going to use Alliant Unique here. Now this is a big flaky powder here, so you guys can see that, what that looks like here. Now I'm not going to hold this one against it, because I'll tell you right now, the only thing I have that can measure this halfway decent is my Lyman Brassmith. None of my Lees will even meter this stuff even closely remotely good. The auto disc will, on certain amounts, it'll do decent on, but I don't expect it to do good with this adjustable disc. But the auto disc is the best one for an on-press one that I have to do it. So that'll be interesting to see what it does with this one, because I've actually never done it before using this powder with the adjustable disc. Let's go ahead and get started. Now the first thing you're going to notice if you guys follow the channel, this is a brand new press. This is my RCBS Rock Checker, and this is the first video it's in. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the H110 here since it's the finest. I have a 357 Magnum case in here, and what I load my 357 Magnum to is 16.7 grains. Don't use my load data because you don't know what bullet or anything I'm talking about. So don't use my load data. But that's what I set this at before I turned the camera on. Now this has sat for a minute, so the first one I might throw out, and then we'll do 10 after that, because after you let it sit and it settles, that one is always going to be wrong. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first thing we need to do is take this out, go over to our scale here, turn it on and zero it out. I am using a Frankfurt Arsenal electric scale here. So number 1, like I said, I might throw this one out just because these are never right. So we got 17. Well, let's put that back on there. Okay, it looks like a 16.9. So we're just going to use that as our throwaway. So now we're going to start here. So number 1. We got 16.9. Looks like every time I want to grab it, it wants to change. Okay, we're going to go with 16.9 for number 1. Dump that back in. Number 2, and I am giving it a minute to drop down. Number 2, we have, looks like 16.9. Number 3, we have 17. So far, what I set it at, everything would be an overcharge. Number 4. There's 16.7. Number 5. $17.1. Number 6. $17. Number 7. $16.9. Number 8. $16.8. Number 9. $16.8. And now number 10 here, last and final one, 16.7. So you can see this thing's been pretty much up above, which I don't like, because 16.7 for the load I use is actually a max charge. So if I was to use this when we were up in the 17s, that would be way over max charge. Not too impressed with it with the H110? Leave the comment down below. What do you think with the H110? Let's move on to the HP38. Alright, now we're set up with HP38 here. Now what I do on 9mm with this, I do 3.8 grains. Once again, don't use any of my load data because you don't know my bullet or nothing. So what we're going to do is check this out here. So once again, we'll take our 357 case off of here, come over to the scale, and we will zero this out. Try to make sure we are in the screen there. And we're zeroed out. Once again, we will do 10. I'm going to do 1. And we're going to check it, but we're going to throw this one out just like we did on the first one to make it all fair. Well, just while I was sitting here, it went up to 4 grains, which, like I said before, that's going to happen when the powder measure settles from sitting for a minute. Now we're going to start our 10 from here. So this will be number 1. And we are going to put it over here. We got 3.9. Number 2. 3.9. Number 3. 3.9. Seems to be doing better with this powder. Number 4. 4.0. Number 5. 4.0. Number 6. 3.9. Number 7. 3.9. Number 8. 3.9. Number 9. 4.0. And number 10. 4.0. Now on these 10, they weren't that bad either, but I was at 3.8 and most of them gone up. When I have the Lee Auto drum, usually I'm off a tenth, but it's down one. This one, it seems like it's jumping up. I set it at 3.8, we got 3.9, 4.0, 3.9, 4.0. A lot more consistent than what the H110 was, but you can see it's not exactly dead on, and to me, that's just a little, Now let's try the Unique. Now the Unique, I think we're going to have a huge issue with. Let me get set up for that. Now for the final one, we are using Unique here. What we are using is 8.5 grains. Once again, don't use my load data because you don't know what I'm using it for, bullet or anything. This is my favorite 45 Colt load though, 8.5 grains. So we will come over here once again. We will zero out our scale. And what I'm going to do is throw away one just like we normally do, because it's been sitting for a minute. Usually it is always off. So we're at 8.9 grains. Now, like I said, we're supposed to be at 8.5. We'll try this out here. This one will be number 1. 8.8. Number 2. 8.7. Number 3. 8.7. Number 4. 8.8. Number 5. 8.8. Number 6. 9. Alright, lost track where we're at. We're going to say number 7. I'm easily confused, I'll admit it. 8.8. Number 8. 8.6. A little bit closer to 8.5. I'm just going to throw a couple extra ones in here for the heck of it. Number 9. 8.7. And we're going to say this one's 10 since I lost track. I'm easily confused, I'll admit it. And we got 9 grains. Now before I started this, what I did was I pulled this 3 times and I got 8.5 every time. I'm really not worried about the number I set it at, even though that is concerning. But what I want you guys to see is from the first charge to the last charge, the deviation we have in this. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to give you guys a bonus. I said I noticed this issue with Titegroup. Let's do a bonus and do some Titegroup. Alright, now we're going to do Titegroup here. And I don't know if you guys could see that or not. I don't want to tilt it too much. But that's what Titegroup looks like. We'll get it up closer here. This is going to be in between H110 and the HP38. This is what I had huge issues with when I originally got this. And I'll tell you guys right now, I'm having a huge issue trying to even get it down to 2.7 grains, which is what I use in my 380 with Titegroup. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to do the same thing here, but I can't even get it set up on 2.7. So I want to show you guys what I'm going through here just so you know. So we're going to take that off here. We are going to need to zero out our case again. Move our camera a little bit here so you can see it better. You can see we're zeroed out. Now, I'm going to do a pull on this. I'm not even counting. We're just going to try to get it at 2.7. Let's see what the first pull is. And I'm going to show you guys. This thing is turned all the way on. Everything is in the way it should. Let's see what our first one is here. Okay, you can see we got 1.0. Now, when I got everything ready for this, the last one I had was 3.9. So let's just see where it goes from here. I'm not even going to touch it. It was 1.0. Do it again. Now we've got 3.8. We'll dump that. All right. Got 3.7. Like I said, I can't even get this down to 2.7. We'll do this a couple of times just to see what the difference is here. Now we got 3.9. I like to know how we went from like 4.0 to 1. And you guys can see I'm not doing anything different. I'm trying to let this drop and everything. Alright, 3.8. So it looked like we stabilized here. So now what I want to do is we'll do this one, see where it's at. Okay, now I'm just going to go to the dial back here. I'm not doing anything special. What I want to do is I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Now normally what you want to do when you make an adjustment, I got a 357 case in here so I can do this a couple of times without overfilling it. We're just going to get that done like that. Let's see where we're at now for this powder charge. I barely moved that. Now we're at 1.7. See what we got this time. .1. .5. You guys can see I'm doing nothing special, nothing's cutting out. This just cracks me up with this. And the whole reason why I bought this thing was for 2.7 grains. Look at that. 0.5. How the heck do you have a swing that big? 0.5. Wow. This is the aggravation of why this video came about, because I have had so many people say, just get that adjustable auto disc and that'll solve all your problems. Alright, now we're back to 3.7. I'm kind of glad I got the Titegroup out, because this is, like I said, where all of my aggravation originally started. So what turned out to be a bonus for you guys. Look at that. 0.2. Are you kidding me? Wow. Mind-blowing. And I haven't even touched nothing. That is like so dangerous. Somebody could get a squib load, not know what happened. That time I got 0. I'm going to try tapping this real quick. Make sure we get some down in there. Man, if somebody is not paying attention with this, this could be dangerous, man. Now we got 3.7 after tapping it. To me, you shouldn't have to tap a powder measurer. Try it one more time. Just to see what we get here. Now we got 3.5. I have a feeling it'll probably keep going down. And I'm not doing nothing different, guys. I'm trying to do the stroke on this the same every time. 3.6. Well, you guys are seeing it just like I am. I'm not making nothing up. You know, from my main channel, I try to be honest with you guys. 1.4. Come on now. Okay, I'm going to tap it one more time since we got a low one. But to me, you shouldn't have to tap, shake, jiggle, all that. To me, you're just playing with it if you got to do with that. It ain't worth having that measure if you got to do all that. So let's just do this one more time. Now I tapped it and went through 3.6. Let's go back up on top and finish this video out. So as you guys can see here, this thing is very not consistent at all. Like I said, I would set it at what I wanted it at the beginning. And that don't bug me so much that I had to come back. And if I had to readjust it, I'm totally cool with that. The part I don't like is when I do 10 pulls. Some of them might have been a little less or a little more. I don't know. I lost count. Hey, I'm not a smart guy. But you guys get the point here. Mostly that it got a little bit more consistent with the HP 38, but the H110 and with the Unique, it was kind of up and down. And then I'm really glad I got the Titegroup out, because that's what caused my whole headache with this. Like I said, I wanted 2.7 grains. Couldn't get that with the disc, so I bought this to do that. And you saw how all over the place, and I mean dangerously all over the place the Titegroup was with this. I would not put Titegroup in this, but now you guys understand why I say I do not recommend this for anybody. Now I do want to know, do you have one of these? Leave a comment down below. Do you have good luck with it? If you do, what powders do you use? Have you had issues with it like I did? Should you just throw it in the garbage, or do you think I should get a hold of Lee and give him a link to this video and say, hey, look what my findings are on this. Is this right? Is there a new and approved one? Because I did buy this a few years ago, and it's just been sitting in a drawer ever since because I thought it was complete junk. So leave a comment down below on your experience with it. So as always, don't forget to check the links out down below. Down there I have links to Axel Hearing Protection, Gators Eyewear, and a bunch of other companies I like dealing with. Some of them got discount codes to save you guys money. Others are affiliate accounts that do help out the channel. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. We are One Nation Under God, and I'll see you all on the next one.